Welcome to tonight's meeting, ladies and gentlemen, members of the public. Is that your little
Yes, I shall read that out, Chair.
Yeah.
Could I ask everyone to turn their mobile devices onto silent? Toilets are on the first floor. There are no scheduled fire alarms today. Fire exit is over at that floor there. Can I remind people that this is a town council meeting to discuss town council business, with the exception of anyone having previously submitted a question to the council and received permission to speak. The public are only here to observe. No comments are to be made, nor questions asked. Any member of the public who disrupts the meeting will be given a warning, and if they persist, the offender will be asked to leave. A continuation of such disruption from the public will result in the removal of the gallery.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Agenda item 1 is to receive apologies for absence.
None received, now.
Okay. Agenda item 2 is to declare of members' interests and update of register.
Only planning,
Andrew?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Councillor Emmersworth, Councillor Wood, Councillor Hamilton. Yeah, anyone else? Councillor Cox. Agenda item 3 is to receive and approve requests for dispensation from members on matters of which they have a disclosable pecuniary interest. Are there any? Okay. Agenda item 4, public speaking. Don't have any? Anybody indicated from the public they would know?
No, Mr.
Anything? No police? Call for the town of council, Councillor Stevenson? Well, I'll just update you on something then. The decision by the county council cabinet to retain Florence Shipley was called in to scrutiny, and the scrutiny committee refused the call in, so the original decision will stand, so Florence Shipley will remain open.
Can we ask a question of Councillor Stevenson?
Feel free to do.
Councillor Stevenson, I've been asked by a resident when will the public be coming down because they consider them sort of disrespectful.
We've been taking them down in the last couple of weeks.
Right, okay, thank
They'll
you.
all be down by the end of next week, hopefully.
Thank you.
Just another thing on the county council, members may not or may be aware that you have to start registering your vehicle if you want to use the household waste facilities. The system is absolutely rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Kept me on the phone for 2 hours, but that's another story. Well, I tried it online, it crashed. So just be wary that eventually you'll have to register your car if you have to go to the tips. Anyway, just Borough Council report.
Chair, just one item, the local plan here in bear in mind the Borough Council has a local plan since 2006. The local plan hearing starts next Tuesday. Will last for 3 days next week and 3 days the week after in the town hall.
Thank you. Agenda item 5 is to confirm the town council meeting of 14th of November.
Okay.
That's good. Second.
Second.
All right, page 20,
Second.
page 21, page 22, page 23, page 24, page 25, page 26. All those in favour? Thank you. Agenda item 6 is exclusion of public. There are no reasons for members of the public to be excluded. Town mayor's announcements. There's a wreath making workshop on Saturday, 12:30 till 3 o'clock in St. Luke's Church at Loscoe. This is run by our friends of Red River, which obviously we as a town council support. So feel free to come down. I think last year there's some nice mulled wine on. I seem to remember it. Whether it's a video again, I don't know. That's not the reason for going. The reason is to go and make a wreath so I can hang it up. Following on from what's the last meeting?
Just
Sorry,
a little
Councillor Cox.
follow on to that. The refreshments are provided by people of the church.
Oh, I might be some communion wine now, I suppose, to move on. Since the last meeting, the Mayoress and myself presented the Great Cook to the winners, Langham Academy at their school assembly. We attended the anniversary of St. Lawrence Church as becoming an inclusive church and enjoyed a very nice beef stew. Attended the civic service for the Mayor of Ripley Town Council. Attended the White Ribbon event at Salcare about domestic violence awareness. Obviously, the switch on of Heanor Lights, along jointly with Paddington Bear. This was another successful event for the town council, despite the weather. People did turn out. The Mayor and myself visited a number of local businesses during the evening. Thanks to everyone who helped support it, especially the staff and those who acted as stewards and cleaned up afterwards. Very much appreciated. Once again, our lights received great praise, and I suspect all the best in the borough, if not the county. We both attended the Ashmere Heanor Park Home Christmas Bazaar. I've attended the awarded certificates to 2 members of the staff at Salcare in recognition of becoming fully qualified domestic violence advisors. We both attended the Salcare Charity Ball Gala, which was raising funds for them. And we both attended a Christmas event at Ashfield Nursing Home, which also proved very popular. Didn't win the raffle though. There we go. Such is life. Right, clock report.
Yeah, Chair, just one from me. Christmas lights switch on event that we had recently was a success. We've had a lot of good comments and feedback on that. Obviously, we're disappointed that we weren't able to let the fireworks off. That was on the advice of the firework provider, who couldn't guarantee where the fireworks would drop because of the wind. Those fireworks have been saved. They are paid for and they will be available for next year's event or an event next year. So we haven't lost any money on that. And we are likely to bring a report back to you next year suggesting that we do use Furthest from the Sea again for the events that we had at the town hall, because I think they really did make the event on such a wet day.
Yeah.
So that's all I've got to report on that, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Hibbert?
Kicking on the lights, I've not noticed this today, but over the last few days the lights have been on in the daytime as well as night time, 24 hours a day.
Yeah. It's cheaper.
Yeah, the answer to that, Mr. Mayor, is they are LED bulbs. It's cheaper not to buy timers and put them on. The electricity we use is negligible, and most authorities now do have them on all day long.
Stupid. It's not cheaper, but it's not cheaper, but I work in a trade, so I know it's not, but that's fine.
First of all,
I've seen something on social media where the fireworks were going to be used tomorrow night.
no.
That might, council might want to put a...
We did. It was on our Facebook page within 24 hours of that anonymous post going on. We put on our Facebook page. So the message was out there. It's been out there for the last 10
I think
days.
people are getting confused because of what Univision are doing Saturday. So
That's right, yeah. Well, that's it. But yes, no, we put out a disclaimer within 24 hours of that going up. Okay, right. Max payments for October. The sheet. 9A. The max payments for October. We're all happy with that. Any queries? Okay.
Second.
All those in favour? Income for October.
Yeah, move your receipt, yeah.
Second, all those in favour? Bank reconciliation. October 2024, we're all happy with that.
Is that £457,299.14?
Sorry?
Is that the bank reconciliation October 2024? It says have income less expenditure. Is that £457,299.14? Am I reading that right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
How much interest do we get on the account? Yeah.
I think that is something that is being looked at, Mr. Mayor. We now have an RFO who is looking at our balances because none of our money is invested in investment accounts, and it really needs some of that money to go away. It's something that I pointed out as the new town clerk, because we could be earning interest on that £350,000 balance.
There will be a report from the council on the February.
Right. So there's been no interest in that then?
Is there any reason why that's not been done before?
Sorry, can we put hand up if
My hand was up.
No, it wasn't.
It was, my name was up, Doug.
I'm sorry, I'm not Doug, I'm the mayor. Right, agenda item 9D, budget and precept proposal.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the RFO has prepared a proposed budget with a precept based on a 2.2% increase on the existing draft budget, which takes into account the action plan and the actions we've got to do there. It also takes into account additional expenditure for a lensman or handyman to work in the town, to be employed directly by the town council. That's estimated at just under £18,000. So that's what we're asking you, recommending today in terms of setting the precept that we need to notify Amber Valley Borough Council. However, this morning we have received proposals from Councillor Alex Stevenson with estimated costings of £50,600 for a number of events and community funding. The RFO first sight of this was at 6:20 tonight, and she did write round to all members an email introducing her new role in October, asking if members would let her have any views that they would like added into the budget this year. And as you can see from the sheet that she's got there, suggested by councillors, there were 0 items suggested. Now, I as clerk would be quite horrified if you passed £50,600 worth of estimated costings. They're not firm costings, they're estimated tonight, changing the budget that we got without the RFO having an input, because that actually, to fulfil that, you'd be looking at about a 22% increase in the precept to carry that forward. And on top of that, if we even took those out of balances, bearing in mind that, you know, I'm not the RFO, Laura is the RFO, but the advice from audit is that a town council like this should have £140,000 in balances at all times to function. We've got £350,000 in balances, so you take that 140,000 off, that only leaves 200,000 or so. And on top of that, you'd be there, if you took that £50,000 out each year, you'd have no balances left by the 3rd, 4th year. So I think they'd have to be looked at and costed and discussed. And I think you'd really want the input from your RFO to be able to consider those. So as town clerk, I'm recommending that the budget be passed as it is. And if there are any of these events that want to be considered in the future, then they would have to come back to the town council with a full report with firmed up costings, and you'd have to consider how you were going to fund them, whether they were going to come out of balances or indeed whether you were going to raise the precept in future years. But I say again, to actually do these, in addition to what's already suggested in here, you'd have to increase the precept by 20-odd%.
2 questions. One, what is our precept now? At what percentage is it sitting now?
Sorry, say
At what percentage does it sit now? You're saying it'll increase by 22%, so what percentage do it count?
we're suggesting a 2.2% increase.
Which would take us to how much of a percentage?
No, it takes us to £287,600.
At the moment, last year we raised 281,409 last year. We're suggesting that this budget can be delivered at a cost of £287,600. next year that we need £287,600 worth of money coming in. And even then, we're likely to be using some money from balances to balance the budget. So if you wanted to increase it, you'd have to increase that precept up to around £340,000, which is a substantial increase.
It is.
Councillor Cresswell?
my-
Hold on.
My next question is, they capped precepts at borough and county, and that could be done at any time for parish and town, couldn't it?
It could,
So
yes.
wouldn't it be a good idea to get a reasonable set amount now and then just stick to that for as long as we can, so that if a cap does come in, we've already beat that cap?
I think the RFO chair through the chair, has set options to you, and she's suggesting a 2.2% increase because that enables you to meet your budget. We've still got £350,000 in balances. I'm not the RFO, I'm just pointing out to you that if you were to adopt this £50,600 worth of additional expenditure, then you'd either have to increase your precept or you'd have to take it from balances, and in 3 years' time you'd only have sufficient working balances, you wouldn't be able to do any more. So you'd have to do a combination. You'd have to be increasing your precept, and that's why I'm saying that as a town clerk, I would be surprised if a council suddenly put in £50,000 worth of additional expenditure tonight. You should bring anything of these to a future meeting to ask whether you want to add them to the budget, or you should go through this budget and take some things out and replace them with the £50,000 worth.
Councillor.
I was going to ask the same
Steve.
question.
Okay.
I was also going to add on to it that Riplan and Belper both increased substantially their precepts, didn't they?
I've no idea.
No.
Was it over 100%? Was it last year?
No.
It was all the accounts we've got. Oh, what was it?
Through you, Chair, there's nothing to stop this town council increasing its precept to whatever it wishes to do, but the warning from the government is...
We talk through the chair, and can you raise your hand? Councillor Hibbert.
Why can we not go half and half, use half out of balance and half on the precepts, increase your... I think I know it's social media, but we got slated this year for the I know it's down to weather effects and stuff, but social media wasn't kind to the council. People slated us for the turnout, for the events. It was rubbish. There's loads of comments on there. If you look through them and stuff, there's not enough for the adults and things like that, for the adult children and things like that and stuff. So, if we want this turnout to come out and make it a good event, so can we not go off and off?
Councillor Linda Cox.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that I would be talking about Rivertown Council tonight. That's not why we're here. I will provide an answer for you, Councillor Stevenson, but I don't believe it was 100%. Nowhere near. Obviously, that was last year. I can't quite remember. It was a year ago. We're now concentrating on this year's budget, which was partly discussed on Tuesday night, and it is looking, although not finalised yet, at around 2%. Right? Sorry.
No, sorry. Myself.
Right. Is there any, right, has anybody got the RFO has recommended a 2.2% council tax. Have I a mover for that?
I'll move that.
Have I a second?
Second.
Have I any amendments to that?
I think it may be common sense to raise it just a little bit more than that. If that takes us to 287.
If you have a proposal, can you want to put a figure on what you want to propose?
Well, another 13 will take it to 300,000.
No, what, 13%, councillor?
No, not 13%. £13,000 will take it
What
to 300.
percentage? What
I don't know,
percentage?
because I'm not working in percentage off the top
Well,
of my head.
I'm sorry, you can't. You have to increase it by percentage. We can't just vote. So there's a mover and a second, and there's no amendments to that. So all those in favour that would go by the clerks, what the RFO suggested. Okay. Well, again. Thank you.
We have a registered vote on that.
If you wish your name, if you tell the clerk, he'll register your
You don't normally have a registered vote in town and parish council, but individual parish councils have a right to ask the clerk to record their name against it.
You want to do that?
If any member would like me to record it in the minutes that they voted against it, I will.
Yes, please.
Okay. Right, agenda item 10. Planning the Valley. AVA 20240766, 11 Oliver Close, demolition of an existing side store and replacement with a single storey side extension. Any comment? AVA 20240742, Royal Breakfast, 26 Marketplace, removal of existing signs, replacement with an illuminated sign, illuminated push-through illuminated tray sign. That's other things. Any comment, Mary? AVA 20240785, Country Park Tavern, to 9 dwellings. Any comment? Councillor Abernathy.
There was a thing brought up on the planning for the Country Park Tavern itself about that road, that being a private road belonging to, it was unadopted, wasn't it, the road that shipped the Park Gardens. Would that affect this planning as well?
No. It don't affect the planning as such. The planning will be about whether they develop the site, the access and egress to the site. It's up to the developer to sort out.
I feel the planning comes into effective as a private road, someone owns it, no one's using it, how can they get access to the houses?
No, the planning application is, there's a bit of land, I want to put 9 houses on it. If the council gives permission, then it's up to the person who's got permission to get access to the site for the properties he develops. That is not, it's up for the developer. He just saying, I want to build houses there. How he gets in and out is for him to resolve with the council giving permission.
It was owned by the farmhouse, that one. It's owned by the farmhouse.
Yeah, I thought they give them permission to build the house, you can't get into
So
it.
he sold it.
Well, that's not, you do. It's up to the developer to
So you build a load of houses, you can't get into it, so what are you going to do, fly into it?
Yeah,
That's the developer's problem.
they own that, so.
Councillor Howard?
Again, these are dwellings as opposed to multiple occupancy, but again, it's like another 9 houses, another 9 dwellings within the catchment again, and it's pressure on local resources. And I understand they are houses as opposed to changing business into housing, but again, I think we should still note that what's happening with local resources.
Unfortunately, that's not a planning consideration.
I know, but
We can write to Amber Valley expressing our concerns about excessive demands on local services through housing developments, but I'm afraid that does noted, and what we're going to do with it.
so
TRE 2024, oh, sorry, Councillor Hibbert.
So, move first.
Sorry, Councillor Hibbert.
Oh, yeah, no.
That's well.
Well, okay. So, no, again, going back to the road plan, the Country Park, again, development. At one time, recently, there was choices that there was shutting down these shore sites like they had to Langley Mill, things like that. Obviously, Road Avenue's got a shore site centre on it as well. And that's still, as far as I know, because my partner does classes out there, so that's still in jeopardy at the minute. So they put his house there. If everyone's got 2 or 3 kids and stuff like yourself are saying, again, how can we get some assurance from the council that they're going to be left open to cover these places? Because otherwise, where they're going to go to children's and classes and things like that stuff.
McCann Council made the decision to close the shore site at Langley Mill, so,
That one's in jeopardy.
well, no, they're going to close it. They will shut it, they made the decision.
Which one?
It's closed.
It's closed.
Langley Mill's closed. No, I'm not about Langley Mill, I'm about Road Avenue. Road Avenue.
It's not planning consideration.
But it's extra things on that school. That is down to be separate to be closed.
But the thing is,
If everyone, what I'm saying is, if these houses come out and it's the kids going there, so if that's going to close, where are the children going to go? So we need to come up with some from the council saying what's going to happen to that. Is there going to be places available for these children to go, as well as Copy School? Copy School's quite full at the minute. There's hardly any more space to take in there and stuff.
I agree 100% with what you say, but it's not a planning consideration.
Surely it is.
No, it didn't, because in theory, you build 9 houses, you can't say that everybody who buys a house there should have children and things like that. So what they're saying is, we want to build 9 houses. You can't, so on the basis of that, they'll make that decision. Nobody knows what kind of families, or if any, actually take up residence in there. So you say, but that's planning law for you. That's why it's all stipulated like
So
that.
is there anything coming from
I
the
agree.
council
Well,
to
I
say-
agree entirely with what you're saying.
Is there anything to say like extra funding for those places then?
They don't. I mean, what they do is, if you get over a certain size, they are expected to make a contribution to the county council's education system. The problem with that is all the contribution is for capital. So it's no good getting capital and building a classroom and having no teachers and desks to put in it. So the planning system is, put it politely, flawed.
I'm sure you should be able to see these things when you come.
Is there anything stopping anything from any of these 9 houses being turned into a house of multiple occupations? Because we seem to have one on nearly every street in Heanor right now.
There's no, I understand that now. Councillor Cox, Celia Cox.
I'm trying to find. No, come back to me in a minute. Yeah.
TRE 204-0594, 13 Mansfield Road, repollarding of lime trees. Any comments on that? So if we go back to, if we write to the Amber Valley and say we express concerns about the demand that extra housing will put on local facilities, is about the better than go forth for that.
I think in the local facility, I think it needs recognised. It needs to be said that it's schools as well, not just local facilities. That's everything into it, but
well, yeah, I mean, I've used that as an umbrella for everything because it's not that, it's doctors' pharmacy.
well, again,
it's the whole weather, isn't it? It's not just schooling. Yeah.
I mean, there are sort of two ways with planning. One is that they come with an outline application, which just gives you the general idea of it, and then it comes back later with the details. So you might get a bit more later. So you can get more, when it comes back with the details.
I mean,
and depending on what that is, then you can object to it.
Yeah, there are 3 members of the Amber Valley Planning Board on this council, so I'm sure there's hearing its sense. Although we can't formally write on that basis because we can't. Okay, right.
Mr Mayor, if you like, I'll make a general comment regarding any plan application. The developer or agent puts in a plan application for whatever they wish to build. They don't even have to own the land. And it will be then up to the officers to go through using their education on planning that they've had over many, many years. And they'll produce a report which will recommend certain things. And the mayor's quite right. If it's over a certain amount of property, then they can insist on certain things like money for road improvements or extra places at schools or doctors, open spaces and biodiversity. And once all that information is there, then a decision will be made whether it's for approval or refusal. So that's the planning system.
There are occasions where they agree to it initially, don't they? But a bit down the line, the developers change their mind about social housing or parks or whatever. Yeah, whatever they try. Will they lose their if they pull out of that? Will they lose their planning application now?
The chair, what they would do, they would have to resubmit a new planning application saying they want to reduce the amount of money that they originally put into the scheme. And then a decision will have to be made whether that's accepted or not.
All right, thank you very much. The date and time of the next meeting will be on the 6th of February, not January. Okay. Have a good Christmas.
Thank you.
Bring me in that.